this time, we ask that everyone please clear the stands and return to your cars. Again, you must clear the stands immediately and return to your cars. Thank you.
I ever saw, and I'm just going to throw a date out there. I think it was around 2000.
Owen Allen's been running over teams early on in the season and his whole high school career. A lot of experience. Most people don't see Allen more than they already do on a weekly basis. Early on, have really just been feeding him, and no one's been able to really take him down. He's been getting consistent yards, moving Southlake all the way down to the 25 for Prosper.
Yeah, Prosper doesn't have an answer early in this one, but still early. Plenty of time to adjust. Allen's going to see it again, and he's stiff arms an Eagle defender to the ground, but still taken down for a gain of nothing.
Allen met the backfield by the Eagles.
And Allen, you can just see the junior, big, imposing.
Ethan Higgins
Looks a lot closer to a big old quarterback. Stands at 6'3", compared to his running back and wide receiver teammates. To 2nd and 10. This Prosper defense did a great job of bending but not breaking last week against Lake Ridge. Hope they can continue that same pattern of play here. Allen to Anderson's right. Anderson's going to pass this one, sending it deep along the right side, trying to test Hunter Summers, who answers the call rather well, breaking up that one intended for R.J. Maryland.
Good coverage by Summers. Saw the ball in the air and got it, maybe even got a finger on it. It's all over that ball.
It was in a great position at the very least.
3rd down and 10 for
So it's going to be a 3rd down and 10 for the Dragons. They converted on a 3rd and 14 earlier in the drive. So they've already shown no distance is necessarily too great for them. Justin Endicott comes back into the game. Anderson takes it. And it's going to be a handoff to Allen. He's met in the backfield, taken down. And that play started with number 11, Carson McClendon, the safety. Met him immediately in the backfield. Ethan Higgins there to finish up, but it's going to be 4th down and 9, and we're going to see the first field goal attempt by Mr. Tyler White.
41-yard try will not be easy.
Junior hasn't missed so far this season. And from 41, that's about as good as it gets. Young junior hits it, and Carroll will strike first. Here with 4:47 left in the first quarter. I'm going to take this quick time we have to tell you about the Chick-fil-A at the Gates of Prosper. As at Chick-fil-A Gates of Prosper, they serve our families, friends, and neighbors with a passion for hospitality and quality. So go see them at the Gates of Prosper location. Chick-fil-A just down Preston Road, although to be quite frank, I don't know if anyone's getting down Preston right now. Or getting to Preston is going to be way more difficult, as there is still a line back to the light down there of people trying to get in here to watch this game.
Not many empty seats left for them once they do get in, though. Full house almost for Prosper side.
Yeah, this home crowd definitely going to be making some noise for their Prosper Eagles. But a pretty good turnout. And considering how far Southlake is away from here, that drive is not a whole lot of fun. But good travel anyway. Also nice to have both bands back. Cheerleaders, drill teams. Definitely feels like Texas high school football season once again. But now Carroll's shown what they can do, and that they can move the ball on this Eagle team despite a good stand there in their own red zone to keep it to just 3 points. Now it's time for the Eagle offense to respond.
Number 87, Brody McNew will tee it up for the Dragons.
Aiden Haskins and Tyler Bailey, they were 2 returners.
Bailey and Haskins back deep for the
That is 87, Brody McNew, the senior, going to be kicking it off for the Dragons. Kick is away. And it's just going to pop into the end zone and out for a touchback.
Interesting to see what Harrison does coming out here. Hadn't had a turnover like we said in those first 2 games, but first drive out, offense really didn't move 5 yards down the field and then threw an interception.
Yeah, the Carroll defense showed a strong to start on their first opportunity, but now it's time for the Eagles to answer back.
Very veteran defense from Southlake. They got 9 returning starters on the defensive end. Really helps.
Very much up, especially considering how much change they experienced on their offensive side. See what happens with experience versus a very experienced offensive line, but slightly more inexperienced quarterback. We're going to see the first handoff tonight to Malik Daly. He's going to find daylight and scamper all the way up to the 39-yard line.
Malik Daly pushed it up the middle. That play resulted in a
So Daly looking over and Owen Allen saying, hey, I can do that too. And Prosper's going to run hurry up, and they're going to have a jump. Tyler Bailey jumping a little bit early. It's going to be a false start. Make it 1st and 15. They try to go hurry up, catch the Dragon defense off their guard, but a little slip up means they're going to start behind the chains on this set of downs. 1st and 15. Rosar takes it, fakes the handoff, looks right to Bailey. Bailey scampering now back to his left, but is met, taken down. The ball pops out. It's picked up, but being called down on contact was Bailey. So Josh Spaeth not going to get credit for that fumble recovery. Bailey's got to breathe a bit of a sigh of relief on that one. Now 2nd and 11. Snap back to Rosar. Fake the handoff to Reimer. He's going to pitch it out to Bailey, but the pitch, bit of a miscommunication. Bailey just going to punch it out of bounds. Keep it from falling into the wrong hands.
Not the start Prosper's wanted early on. The interception on the first drive and then one almost fumble and now a miscommunication, a misplay on the pitch. Almost turns into another turnover. This Prosper team's been good at keeping a hold of the ball. Not really turning the ball over much first 2 weeks, but early on in this game, some costly mistakes.
Yeah, so a little bit disjointed.
3rd down.
To start. Now facing a 3rd down and 17 from their own 23-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side. Rosar takes it back to pass. Looking right on the screen, but it's not there. So they're going to throw it all the way upfield, and that's going to be caught. Like I told you there was. They have a fly down. That looked to be Hunter Summers on the reception.
I believe it was Reimer.
Never mind, that was Braden Reimer, number 7. Clearly I need my eyes checked. Thank you. I'm getting too old.
1s and 7s. Hard to see from up here.
Oh, that's my excuse. Thank you.
So, receiver downfield. Offense number 60.
So unfortunately, that nice gain by Hunter Summers that maybe gave you a couple of options on 4th down is going to be wiped away as an illegal receiver downfield penalty against Nash Gagliano. Going to push the Eagles back, and they're going to have to try 3rd down again, this time from 22 yards away.
Rosar does have a nice arm, though. He can complete a big pass downfield with the fast wide receivers on the outside. Still very doable for Prosper.
Not impossible, certainly. Not going to be easy either. Maybe a time to keep an eye on old number 0 there, Mr. Bailey. They tried the screen last time, and now they're not going to try anything before taking another timeout.
Prosper, their 2nd of the half.
A lot of miscommunication from Prosper's offense early on. A few almost fumbles, and then a lot of early penalties as well, holding them from moving the ball down early on.
So Prosper not quite finding their rhythm offensively. This first quarter is gone by pretty quick, just 3 minutes remaining in it. And Coach Schmidt wanted to talk to his team. You don't exactly have many plays in the book for 3rd and 22. Let's see if offensive coordinator Tyler Moore can drum up anything. As the offense returns to the far hash. It's going to be a 3 wide receiver set. Bailey and Hawkins on the near side. Summers all by himself up top. Bailey's going to be set up behind Rosar, it looks like, with Braden Reimer on that right side. See a lot of motion from this team, and we see it again with Braden Reimer joining the 2 on the near side. Fake handoff. Rosar looking left, nowhere to go so far. Throws it over the middle, and a miscommunication as he thought Hunter Summers was going to keep running forward, but
Rosso's pass
He
incomplete, brings up
cut off
down
his
to
route, and that's going to make it 4th and 22, and we're going to see the first punt of the game for either side.
Kennedy did great last week. Both his punts pinned down inside the 10-yard line. Not really the case here, most likely, punting from his own 27, but he's got a leg.
If they find a way to pin it inside the 10-yard line from here, I will do a somersault in this booth. There is the punt. It's a line drive, kicked well. Straight into the hands of the Dragon returner. Special teams was a bit of a struggle last week, but doing a good job with the contain there on Jacob Jordan, the sophomore wide receiver.
Nice defense. They did move the ball down pretty well last time, Southlake, but still held down to 3. Good job by the defense, tightening down when it came to the own side of the field.
See if they can do it again.
Owen Allen does already have 65 yards rushing. Really got to make that a key for the defense right now, is to try and slow him down.
At least as much as he can. There's a big offensive line opposite the Prosper defense, and they do a very good job of giving Allen some space. And we're going to see Allen to start once again, but the Prosper defense there immediately. First one there, the sophomore Davis Perkins. Did a great job cutting in through that offensive line. So the initial slow up and just waited for reinforcements to come, as a one-on-one tackle against Owen Allen is not very common for understandable reasons. A lot of space along the right side for Carroll. All their receivers lined up on the other side. It's going to be a pass play. Looking left is Anderson, and he's going to be sacked. What a play, senior Graydon Splawn.
Big play by Splawn. All over that big hit. Made sure that Caden Anderson could not get the ball out before the big hit.
Yeah, just reached out his arm, got Anderson right in the gut as he was about to throw. Managed to wrap him up. Excellent play.
Causes a long 3rd down for Southlake. 3rd and 18. They've been converting on him early, but it's going to be a tough one.
A game we thought was going to be a shootout so far. It's featured a lot of defense. A couple of sacks by Prosper, who came in with just 3.5 on the season so far. Screen here on 3rd and forever. Allen's got it in a lot of space, but going to be forced out along that far sideline by Caleb Miles.
Good job shutting down the screen by Prosper. Last week, over 100-yard receiving for Owen Allen. Only on 2 receptions. On those screen passes, he really gets out, and when he's in open field, he's really explosive.
That's been a staple of the Prosper defense over the last few years in particular, being able to shut down those screen plays, and did a good job mitigating it there. Forcing a 4th and 9. Carson McClendon back to return it, standing on about his own 12. Tyler White set to punt it away. Boots it off his left foot. Clinton tracks it back, just going to let it go over his head, and that's going to be killed at the 1-yard line. So an excellent special teams play as Southlake Carroll looks to be winning the field position battle. At least to start, with less than a minute left to go in the first quarter. So now Prosper facing, to put it mildly, one heck of a challenge.
Long field for them to conquer, to get their first points of the game and get on the board.
99 yards for 6. As the refereeing crew, led by our head referee, Mr. Tommy Little, is signaling something, and I believe they're signaling that it was a touchback.
At the 25-yard line.
So that's going to be a great piece of news for the Prosper offenses. Instead of starting from the 1, they'll get to start from the 20 instead.
Big break for Prosper.
I believe they're ruling that the Dragons special teamer stepped into the end zone with the ball. Us making it a touchback. No, I'm sure, however it is, Prosper will take the break. Now we're going to see a handoff to Tyler Bailey along the right side. Blocking kind of disintegrates immediately. An excellent job that time by Luke Ledbetter, the senior.
Second and 12.
Prosper's got to do a good job of introducing Bailey into this offense early on. Last week, didn't have a huge impact. He did get 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing and 1 receiving, but not many touches.
Well, the more touches he can get Tyler Bailey, the better on average. Your game is going to go. Less than 25 seconds remaining. Down to 20 here on the snap. Likely the last play of the first quarter. Rosar is going to chunk it deep, and he has Tyler Bailey caught! And Tyler Bailey is going to be all the way down to the Dragon 35-yard line. The ball popped out once again, but it's going to be ruled down by contact. Came out after the play.
Amazing throw by Rosar on the run off his back foot. Chucks it down perfect to Bailey for a huge gain, for a good spark for this Prosper offense.
Well, not something you like was Tyler Bailey coming up in a little bit of pain. He took a hard hit after recording that catch. He's come off now. And we are going to have one more play likely here in the first quarter. Well, the clock is running, and it doesn't look like Prosper's in a hurry, so that is likely to do it for our first quarter here from Prosper, Texas. Southlake with the only points, 3-0 is the current score after 1, but Prosper maybe with a bit of a spark heading into the second. And I'm going to take this chance to tell you about Dr. John Periton and Prosper Chiropractic and Wellness. Dr. John Periton at Prosper Chiropractic is one of the best chiropractors in the Prosper area, specializing in chiropractic care and wellness. Call them today so they can develop a chiropractic plan specific for you. Also going to tell you about Biche Orthodontics. Founded in 2016, they truly have orthodontic options for everybody, from adults in the family who are finally ready to get the smile they've always wanted, to our local Prosper athletes who may be worried about how metal brackets will interfere with their sports and activities. Call them today to schedule your consultation. Well, heck of a play. Getting down all the way to the 34-yard line of the Dragons to start this second quarter for Prosper.
Good sign for Harrison Rosar too. Last week, similar, starting off a little slow, but then once he got cooking, he never slowed down. And we hope to see that again from Harrison.
Absolutely. The young junior with what might have just been his best throw of his young career. On that one, rolling to his left and then dropping an absolute dime to Tyler Bailey, who did a great job of tracking it. Rosar fakes the handoff, going to throw left once again, and it's tipped up, caught for an interception. What a play. You cannot be mad at that one. That was Luke Ledbetter, the senior cornerback. Did a great job coming on the blitz, got his hands up, tipped it to himself for Rosar's second interception of the night, and that's one you really can't put on him. Just an outstanding defensive play.
Some great defense out of the Dragons early on. There's one thing we were worried about last week, letting over 500 yards, but early on, 2 quick turnovers on Harrison Rosar. Only team to be able to do that.
So far. The Dragon offense now out. Going to start with Allen, and he's met in the hole immediately by the senior, Justin Endicott.
Handoff to Owen Allen.
A gain of about 1 yard.
90, Justin Endicott. Second down and 9.
So can this Dragon offense capitalize on the defense's second takeaway of the night? Add some more points to their lead. Anderson takes the snap back, looking right, chunks it deep. Got a receiver somewhat open, but misses the throw as RJ Maryland had some space. Was able to separate a bit from Hunter Summers. With some good route running. Anderson just missed him. 3rd and 9 now being faced by Carroll. Prosper defense would love the chance to pitch a 3 and out here. No one in a stance. Everyone's standing up. Going to send 5 as the Prosper defense. One-on-one to Maryland on the outside. And that might have just been enough. Ooh, he's going to get ruled a yard short is R.J. Maryland. Another catch on the night for the senior.
Southlake definitely going to go for it. It's going to be hard to say if it's going to be weird if you call if it's not to
No,
Owen
that's
Allen.
going to be first down yardage.
It is first down.
Yes, it is. It's a bit of a delayed call, but first and 10. Now from the 47-yard line. Snap back to Anderson, looking to pass once again. Looking deep along that right side again. Maryland overthrown. Summers jumped out to reach for it with one hand, but just a little bit too far away from him as well. And Anderson likes something along that right side. And maybe it's just the desire to get the ball to Maryland, but there's a lot of focus along Hunter Summers' side.
Great pressure by this Prosper defense early on. Already got 2 sacks and a QB hit right there on that throw. They're really getting inside and making Anderson have to make a decision early.
Something this Prosper defense has always done well is bring blitzes from multiple angles, kept you guessing. See what they can do on 2nd and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Allen, who is met pretty quickly. Just a gain of 1 to make it 3rd and 9. And Prosper comes into this one with the 8th ranked rushing defense in the area. Overall, the 8th ranked scoring defense as well. And what has really become the district of defense is Prosper is ranked 8th in the area. McKinney Boyd is 3rd. Geyer is 5th, and then Little Elm's 11th, and Braswell's 16th. So some great defenses in District 5, 6A. And another sack this time. Aiden Cumbest, the captains, the senior, gets the wrap-up sack for his first of the season.
Much needed momentum for Prosper. That front 7 has been all over Anderson early on. 3 sacks now. It's huge.
This looks like the Prosper defense of a year ago, certainly. As a 4th and 17 now being faced by Southlake Carroll. Tyler White on to punt it away once again. Awaiting is Mr. Tyler Bailey, standing at about his own 14. Snap back, nearly blocked. Great job by White to just get it away. And that's going to be a leg pass in a way, as it's going to be immediately fielded down at the 16-yard line.
A defensive game early on. We expected a shootout from both these teams with some high-powered offenses, but Southlake has picked off Harrison twice early on, and Prosper's defense has done a really good job of slowing down Carroll's offense. They've been getting some yards at time, but some big sacks and a turnover early on held them to only 3.
Yeah, a little bit of that bend don't break we mentioned from last week against Lake Ridge. And now we want to see a bit of an offensive flashback to last week. Team that put up 63 points, 47 of them in the first half alone. See what they can do here. Could be a fake handoff to Tyler Bailey. Rosar is just going to take it, fall down for a gain of 2.
He's tackled by number 19, Logan Anderson.
As coming up to make the tackle on that play was the Rover safety number 19, the junior Logan Anderson. Nine minutes to go in the first half. 2nd and 8. Rosar takes it. It's going to be a handoff to Daly, who doesn't find a whole lot of space this time. Able to gain 2 more and make it 3rd and 6 from the 20.
On the carry. Number 30, Nate Gall. Number 44.
So 3 sacks already for the Prosper Eagle defense that only managed 3.5 in their first 2 games of the season. And now the offense is starting to do something here on 3rd and 6. Blitz showing from both sides. Rosar checks. Now takes a little fake pump handoff. He's going to throw over the middle, just missing Tyler Bailey, who was running pretty much wide open across the middle. Shaking his coverage, and that's going to bring it to 4th and 6. And likely to see another punt from the Eagles.
Slow start from this Prosper offense. Would have expected some points on the board by now, midway through the second.
Well, this is without a doubt the toughest test that this Eagle team has faced so far this season. Southlake Carroll is ranked 3rd in the state for a reason. There goes the punt. Again, nearly blocked. That was really a feature of the Dragons last week. They blocked 3 field goal attempts from Rockwall Heath,
Punt travels out of bounds
which
to the 42-yard line.
in a 1-point game truly ended up being
Inside
crucial
territory
points saved.
is Dragon ball, 1st and 10.
So the Dragons special teams getting the job done, giving their offense great field position at the Prosper 42-yard line.
Yeah, this Prosper defense has been holding up well early on, but great starting field position for Southlake Carroll. Tough test for this defense.
You know, we've seen a lot of passes go to that far sideline in the direction of Mr. Maryland. See if that trend continues. Back on either side. Lehman getting sent out to the right. Anderson's going to fake his way, but instead going to run it. Take a hard lick, and it flags down after a gain of 6.
Flag on the play.
I believe that was Carson McClendon who came in for the hit. Anderson went down hard, quick. See what this call ends up being. Our refereeing crew having a discussion about it. The yard marker is yet to officially move.
Personal foul, late hit, non-flagrant targeting on number 8 of the defense. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. That's number 11. It's number 11's first for the game.
So after a little bit of number confusion, it was Carson McClendon getting called on that one.
Tough call for that Prosper defense, putting Southlake's offense almost nearly in the red zone. Sat right at the 20.
We're going to be watching multiple games tonight.
Right
Right
now,
now, we're
fresh
just
set of
starting out
downs.
with Southlake versus Prosper.
We've already seen tonight that is in field goal range
St.
from
Thomas
Southlake's
Aquinas
finger.
versus
So,
American Heritage.
gonna need another one of those sacks to push that offense back, maybe pushing them out
I
of
don't know what happened in the
potential
first quarter with like 56
now might be
seconds
for
left. They just
damage
stopped the
limitation.
Game, so I don't know. Maybe
First
it
and
was a
10 from the
lightning,
20. Anderson takes it,
a
hands it off to
lightning
Allen, who's
warning or
met
something like that
immediately by
over there,
McClendon.
Florida,
But Allen showing off
yeah,
pure
we'll be
power,
checking
able to
out
gain 1.
for right now.
An early strong start for Owen Allen, but this Prosper
versus
defense has adjusted
Prosper.
early, quick, and
I'm
in the
gonna go
second
pick up
quarter,
me some wings
really haven't let him
now,
break a
but,
big one yet.
Maybe
Yeah, a lot of trust
I'll find another game for us to watch.
in
if y'all have
the
any,
front
what's up,
7.
Vic?
Prosper, these
What's
safeties
going
are kind
on?
of, or pardon me, a lot of
If y'all
trust
have
in
any
the
suggestions of high school
secondary.
games y'all want to watch, let me
It's
know,
shooting a
man.
bit
I'll
more
be, try my best
one-on-one
to find
coverage
it
against
and
these
make it happen.
receivers.
We probably
Seems
jump in on
Prosper's
my
not going to let
alma mater
Owen
as
Allen
well,
be the
DeSoto.
reason they lose tonight.
Forgot who they playing. North
Sanderson
Crowley,
drops
I
back, is hit
believe.
once
Check out
again,
DeSoto
but it
versus
delivers a
North Crowley.
strike.
Southlake
RJ
just scored
Maryland
again. Didn't even know they had
with a
a
strong
black
catch and a
receiver.
touchdown for the Dragons.
But
Good pressure once again by the
man,
Prosper
sit back
defense,
and
but it
enjoy
was not in
man, some high
time.
school
Anderson
football.
finding
This usually will be
RJ
on
in the
my
end zone.
on my highlight season.
Great job by the junior Caden
channel.
Anderson standing in there,
But for
taking a
whatever
hit
reason,
and delivering a
that
very nice
channel-
pass to RJ
for whatever
Maryland, who
reason, that
found just
channel,
enough space underneath the zone to
has
reel that
24
one in.
hours before I can go live on it.
Point
for
after
whatever
attempt
reason. So,
is up and
yeah,
good.
We'll just have to start on that
That
channel
makes it
tomorrow or next week. Actually, probably next
10
week.
to nothing.
But I'm just getting over COVID, y'all.
As you
so,
see a line still reaching
that's the
back
reason
pretty
why today
far
is
there
the
on
first
Frontier
day that
Road.
I'm actually doing this. Other than that, we would
As
have
we
been doing
look at
this
all
for
those
2
cars
weeks
trying
now,
to pile in
but
here
I've
to
been
Children's
out of the
Health
pocket
Stadium,
with
I'm going
the
to tell you
COVID, man,
the
Delta.
Farmers Bank and
First time
Trust
being sick
owned
in
by
a
Ray
minute, so,
Smith, the community bank that has given
yeah,
their
this was
customers
new
the
to me,
highest
so
priority
happy
for
to
over a
cover.
century.
Still got
They believe
like
that success
maybe
is simply a matter of treating their customers the way
maybe, I don't
we
even know,
would want to be
just a
treated.
little fatigued,
So please feel
but
free
I'm
to visit,
fired up
call,
right now,
or
actually.
email them
So,
today.
Just let me know.
And a big thank you to all of our sponsors, both our
Let me
founding
know, what
and
games
our
y'all wanna
anchor
see, if y'all wanna
sponsors.
see any particular games.
Their support and
And,
partnerships.
or if y'all wanna
Prosper
see
ISD
any
is going to be able to
particular,
offer the
you know,
very best for their students and the
ranked
community
players.
overall.
in high school right now in the nation, and we can check out and see if they playing, and we
But now a
find them
challenge.
and see what they talking about today.
First
right?
time that
So yeah, holla at me.
this
Let me
Prosper
know.
Eagle team has
And,
been facing a real deficit
I'll
like
just
this.
Be on mute, jumping back in and out
Was-
on the chat.
They were tied with
And,
South
hopefully
Grand
we have
Prairie
some-
for a
some
good chunk of their
football
first
today,
game,
man.
but really
So
took it over
this'll
heading
be
into
an
the
every
half.
week
And
thing.
then
Today
there's
is
never a
just
doubt
on
in
this
anyone's
channel,
mind
but
that
normally it
they're
will
going
be
to
on
handle business against Lake Ridge.
my high school sports channel,
down.
which is highlight season.
See what they can
I'll
do.
put it in the chat. That way y'all will know for next
Taylor
week.
Miles
Y'all
and
ain't gotta go
Tyler
searching
Bailey
for it.
deep.
It'll just be right here.
For the Eagles,
Uno momento.
As McNeil, the senior,
go.
awaits to kick it off
bet.
from the 40-yard line.
he's
All right,
up for the
so,
Dragons at the 40-yard line.
The channel is in the chat. Let me know if y'all sub to it or whatnot.
Kick is sent
And,
away.
Yeah, man. That's
Once
where all
again,
of
it'll
our,
bounce in and
that's
out
where
for a
all of our
touchback.
games will be shown right there on highlight season.
Gonna be a big test on the
Yeah,
junior
if there's any other
Rosar.
game that you particularly
Really, he
want to
really,
see, let me know.
so far in the first two games of the season, has performed really well. But this game has come out kind of shaky. 2 interceptions, one of which not really being his fault, just a great defensive play. But even on the last drive, missing Bailey on that 3rd down, it's going to be huge to see what he can do on this drive.
Yeah, you're only down by 10 with over 7 minutes to go, so you got plenty of time. The deficit isn't insurmountable by any count. Southlake Carroll surmounted a deficit much larger than this one just last week. But this is a chance to try and get yourself back into this game quickly as Rosar takes it. It's going to keep it this time on the option for a pickup of 3.
Rosar on the quarterback keeper. He's tackled by number 15, Alan Kleinman. Gain of 3.
They got to give credit to Rosar. After that first interception, it didn't shake him at all. Came back out and attacked the Dragon defense, hoping he can do it to recover from his second interception as well. He's got some talented weapons to help him do it. Snap's going to be a fake handoff to Daly. Now to Tyler Bailey. He's going to find a little bit of space, getting himself
Bailey on the carry.
to the 32-yard line
They'll pick up a few more yards.
to make it a 3rd and 3.
Bailey continues to look a little shaken up after taking some of these hits after the play. Hopefully he can stay out there
A lot
and
of
keep performing.
A lot of size on this Carroll team. Always hurts to be hit like that. Over that long catch. But
Sorry
now
about
key
that.
3rd down
I
conversion.
don't know how the hell I
Eagles haven't
switched
been very good on
that
3rd down
signal.
tonight, but they're going to get this one. Rosar, great juke move. Gets all the way to the 45-yard line. What a way for the junior to put his team on his back for a second and get the job done.
First down.
First down and 10. On the 45-yard line, and maybe this is a signal that this Prosper offense has figured some things out. Daly behind Rosar, who's in the pistol. Gets it. Fakes the handoff. Throw outside. Caught to the 50-yard line. That time by number 4, Mr. Houston Hawkins, the senior.
First time we've got to say Houston's name tonight. Last week had a big week, 3 touchdowns, and was really the focal point of this offense. Hope to keep him as the main point.
3 touchdowns on just 4 catches. $127 to go with it in terms of yardage. But it's 2nd and 5. Now for Prosper. Fake handoff. Rosar sends it out. That far sideline once again. Had to do it under pressure and couldn't pinpoint the pass. And now a flag being thrown after the play. A little bit of jarring going on, and I think this is going to go Prosper's way. Or pardon me, it's going to go against Southlake Carroll to the benefit of Prosper.
May have been a late hit on Rosar. He was on the ground after the throw.
I think this might be a little bit more of some jarring.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 1.
And indeed it was. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Grant the Eagles a fresh set of downs from the 35-yard line as they're now in plus territory. So now some penalties going the way of the Eagles. See if they can capitalize on the free yardage. An empty set for the first time tonight. Now coming back in is Daly. He's going to throw a block. Rosar looking for someone to get open. He has Tyler Bailey deep. It's sent up. A great job by Josh Spaeth, the free safety, to tip that one away. Bailey tried to track it down afterwards, but just bounced off of his hand. And now it's going to be 2nd and 10. And if Rosar was able to get maybe just a touch more on that one, Bailey might have been in for a score. A tough throw. A great play by Josh Spaeth, reaching up above his head to tip that one away. Touchdown saving play, most likely. As once Tyler Bailey is behind you, it's pretty hard to catch up to him. Bailey and Summers on the near side. Hawkins on the far side by himself. Rosar takes it, fakes the handoff, looks left to start, now looking right. Not really anything, but he's going to run this time. A lot of space on that far sideline. He's going to get tripped up, taken down at the 26-yard line. I believe that was number 24, the senior Max Reyes, the first down saving tackle.
Rosar done a good job of using his legs early in this game.
He's got the athleticism. Now the chance to show it off. 3rd and 1. Heavy set at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a fake handoff. Rosar is going to try to get the first down himself again, and gets just to the 25-yard line for the first down.
He's tackled at the 25-yard line. Doors on that play is other Prosperigo.
And that is indeed a first down. A great job by Rosar, showing his intelligence that time, knowing exactly where he needed to go to get his team a fresh set of downs, and got them indeed 25-yard line. Hinshaw back in the game. Prosper shows a 2 tight end set. Reimer and Hinshaw both. It's going to be a fake handoff along the left side, wide open. That was Tyler Bailey. And another first down as the Eagle offense is rolling.
Tyler Bailey.
Good job by the Eagle offense getting both passing and running on this drive. They've really done a good mix of both and have been moving the ball really well, getting inside the 15.
Yeah, we've seen Rosar really come to life on this drive. Now inside the red zone at the 13-yard line. Now comes the true test. Can the Eagles punch it in? Get some points before halftime. Be a handoff this time to Daly, who's absolutely met in the backfield. Nowhere to go. A loss of 3 back to the 16. Obviously, you never want to go backwards, but
Malik Daly on the carry.
To be honest, you get yourself a little bit more space to work with now from the 16 rather than 13. And that's something this Prosper team can take advantage of. They do a great job of sending their receivers every which way, do the best they can to create space for Rosar to throw into. A lot of credit to offensive coordinator Tyler Moore on that one. And before we see a 2nd down and 12 play, we're going to see a timeout.
Southlake Carroll. That's their first of the
That's
half.
Carroll's first timeout of the half, with 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in the second quarter.
It's going to be a big couple downs for the Prosper, trying to get on the board before halftime. Typically expect them to have a lot of points on the board, but so far, been pretty quiet.
I mean, that game last week against Lake Ridge is generally a bit of an anomaly. You don't see 60 points dropped very often. It was Prosper's first 60-point offensive outing since a game at Carrollton Creekview back in 2017. Their largest margin of victory. Of course, they won by 56 last week. Largest they've had since they beat Lake Ridge back in 2012 in Mansfield by a score of 57-0. But a very different test this week. And for the last couple of years, Prosper has really been searching for that signature victory, one that they can point to and say, hey, this is a blue chip top tier team that we beat. I mean, they've made some decent playoff runs, but obviously Geyer knocked them out last year, Rockwall the year before. And they haven't really have that win against Allen or a Geyer to show that they really are among the elite in these 6A schools in the DFW area. And they'd love to change that. They still have quite the opportunity here, trailing just 10-0, 2:27 left in the half. The 16-yard line facing a 2nd and 13. Going to be a fake handoff. Rosar rolls to his left, sends it out in the direction of Braden Reimer. But great coverage. Carroll sniffed that one out. Going to make it 3rd and 13. And you got to think, if you're head coach Brandon Schmidt, make sure your quarterback knows, don't turn it over and don't go backwards. So you're within field goal range for Ryan Stiglitz. You want to make sure you get something at the very least, especially considering how good your defense has played. You trust them to maybe close out this half if they need to. Third and 13. Trio of receivers on the near side. Rosar takes it, fakes the handoff, is going to throw, and he's going to get taken down. The ball is out. That's going to get counted as a fumble, recovered by Southlake Carroll. Nobody is going to be around to stop number 52, Cade Parks, from strolling into the end zone and scoring a Dragon touchdown. And that is not the way you wanted that play to go if you're Prosper.
Prosper finally getting inside in the red zone on offense, finally moving the ball down. That one hurts a lot. Putting Carroll up now 16, potentially 17, waiting on the extra point.
And that may be an example of a quarterback trying to do a little bit too much.
3 turnovers early on for Rosar. Not what you'd expect from him.
It's not what he's shown through his first 2 games, certainly. But Carroll showing, again, why they're considered one of the state's best, especially Cade Parks, the junior, at a sack versus Highland Park. As the score is now 17-0 in favor of Carroll. So that one hurts, that one stings, no doubt about it. But you're still by no means out of this game. A 17-point deficit, and you have 2 minutes to work with here in the quarter. No reason to think you can't find a way to get back down the field with your 1 timeout still in your pocket.
Prosper very much not out of this game, as well as they do receive the second half kick. Get a quick score here and score start the second half. It's back to a 1-possession game.
All right. It's hard to emphasize just how much points of any kind would mean. Even if you can just get into field goal range. Be nice to tally up 3 before you head into the locker room. Prosper doesn't get shut out in halves very often, especially here at home. But credit to the Dragon defense. As much as we've credited Prosper for stepping up when they need to, Carroll's done the exact same thing. You're going to see Caleb Miles and Carson McClendon, 2 defensive backs, set back to return the kick by Mr. McNew. McNew has already sent 2 into the end zone for touchbacks. To see if he does it 3 times in a row.
McNew tees it up for the Dragons.
New raises his arm, starts his trot, sends this kick deep, and no one gonna have a chance for that one. Doesn't even touch the black paint in the end zone, goes all the way to the white out of bounds stripe. What a leg. But 2:05 left. Trailing by 17, and if you're Harrison Rosar, this has been a very tough test for you. Incredibly difficult opponent, and has managed to get to you a little bit, forced a few turnovers, and now it's all just about how do you respond.
He's shown some good sparks this game. He hasn't had a great ball control early on. The fumble and the 2 interceptions. Hoping to see another big play. He had a big one earlier. Deep pass.
You got guys like Bailey, Hawkins, and Summers, pardon me. Anything can happen. Snap back to Rosar. He's going to throw it. Screen pass to Daly just over his head. Tried to float it above his offensive lineman, Zach Barnhouse, who is still blocking for him. But instead ending up over the head of Malik Daly. Going to make it 2nd and 10. Proper 2-minute drill this is now. Starting from the 25-yard line. Rosar bobbles the snap. Now he's just going to have to scramble for his life to pick up what he can, and
Rosar on the keeper.
is able to pick up 3, make it 3rd and 7.
Number 30.
Harrison has done a good job making plays out of when the pocket has collapsed on him. He has done a good job getting outside and at least getting some yards for the team.
He's got the athleticism to do it, certainly. As we're going to see a Southlake Carroll timeout. Their 2nd of the half. As they think if they can get a stop here on 3rd and 7, they might have the chance to put up some more points before the half ends. Obviously, Tyler White's their main place kicker, but McNew has shown he's got a leg, so maybe if you even get relatively close, he could get something near the uprights. But 1:46 left. And for Prosper, you want to just find some kind of momentum that you can point to before you head into the locker room at half. Head coach Brandon Schmidt was talking about before the game that, you know, this team was fired up. They were looking forward to this against top-ranked opponents. You know, both teams coming in 2-0, looking to stay undefeated. So far, Carroll looking a slightly more solid team. The Prospers, they know they have the talent to hang with them. It's just a matter of executing on the plays. 3rd and 7. Rosar brings Bailey in motion. Going to hand it off to him on the jet sweep. Bailey out with some blocking in space. Up the left sideline. He's going to go out of bounds after picking up a 1st down at the 36-yard line.
Big conversion for Prosper. They really needed that. Make sure they didn't give Southlake Carroll the ball. With another potential to score before the half.
Well, it's got to feel pretty good. Gone out of bounds as well. Stops that clock at 1:40. Still have the one timeout in your pocket. Your head coach, Brandon Schmidt. Same formation, just flipped this time. Bailey coming in motion once again. Going to fake the handoff. Rosar is going to keep it up the middle, reaching the ball out. Going to get taken down to the 44-yard line for a pickup of 8.
A lot of options early on for Rosar. He's getting through the holes and he's getting good yardage on each gain.
That's the first time we've called the senior Benicio Porras. First time we've called his name tonight. Not a lot of running up the middle has been accomplished by Prosper so far, but got 8 on that pickup. 2nd and 2. Rosar deals with the high snap well. Looks and just spikes it down, and that's likely going to be a flag for intentional grounding. Some good coverage on the back end by Southlake. And we'll see what this flag ends up being, but considering that Mr. Little is speaking with the far sideline, it is going to be an offensive penalty.
Replay 2nd down.
It's going to be a replay of 2nd down. But now instead of 2nd and 2, it's 2nd and 12. So we knew when the schedule was announced that this is going to be a real proving ground for a young Prosper team, and so far it's been just that. See what they can do. Rosar on another keepers. Trudges straight up the middle. Going to get taken down by Nate Gall, the senior linebacker. After a pickup of just 2, makes it 3rd and 10. And we'll see just how much time head coach Schmidt wants to take out of his clock, as he doesn't have to snap the ball until there's about 20 seconds left to go in the half. As the play clock just now hitting 20. See how much they decide to wind it down on a 3rd and 10 from the 36-yard line. Receiver to each side. Rosar takes the snap. Going to hand it off straight up the middle to Daly. And Daly is able to maneuver through just the slightest bit of space to pick up 6. That leaves 19 on the clock. And it's going to roll, and that might do it for our first half. We'll see if Southlake decides to take a timeout. And that is exactly what the Carroll Dragons elect to do. So they're going to force a decision out of Prosper.
Daly carries out to the 41.
4th and 5, being faced by the Eagles. We mentioned just how well they were able to kill punts last week. Maybe looking to do a little bit more of the same tonight on this occasion. As now that we have everyone in here, it is indeed quite the crowd. The home side especially has shown up in force tonight, but a lot of credit to that away sideline. It's pretty full itself, including a nice student section.
Carroll with calling the timeout is now out of timeouts. 19 seconds remaining. If we can pin them down anywhere deep in their own territory, it's going to be hard for them to get any more points.
Well, Josh Kennedy has come out.
Josh Kennedy on to punt for Prosper.
He will punt this ball away. Last time, Carroll nearly got a blocker to it. See what they can do this time as Kennedy barely gets it away once again. This ball is going to roll all the way down, taking some great Prosper bounces, and it will die at the 19-yard line. So another punt killed inside the 20. Great job by Kennedy just to get that one away, but to also create a bit of a roller.
That roll really helped Prosper knock some time off the clock as well, leaving only 8 seconds for Carroll.
Yep, we're already seeing the safeties backing up a little bit further than they normally do. But with 8 seconds to go, from your own 19-yard line, it looks like we're just going to see a kneel to send us to halftime. Prosper backing up just in case. But Anderson's just going to take the snap, kneel down, and that will do it for the first half of this game. So a quick recap before we head to halftime. Carroll really handling this one, currently leading the Prosper Eagles 17-0. And they've looked pretty solid throughout this entire game, have the Dragons, Connor.
Yeah, every time Prosper has gotten any momentum going, that defense for Carroll has really done a great job of taking turnovers. They've got 3 turnovers. They've caused 3 turnovers for this Prosper offense, and that's really been the big decider in this game.
Indeed it has. Well, we're going to leave you for halftime, let you enjoy the drill teams and the bands since we have them back. But make sure you stay here for the second half to see what the Prosper Eagle team can do to respond, as they will receive the kick to start the third quarter. But until then, enjoy halftime, everybody.
Emerald Bell's premier level sponsors are Second again, 7th quarter play, 21-7 is the score. Eagles with the lead over the Panthers. Panthers set to kick. And deep is number 6 for the Eagles. Step out, duncanville. Brooks runs the cover. Now the first to 30-yard line, first down and 10 for the Eagles in Panthers territory. After the second and fumble on the play. Fumble is placed at the 30-yard line. First down and 10 for the Eagles. On the down number 8, Southlake Carroll. It's on the play. Target flag on the play. It is an offensive penalty. Nobody trying to play offense. Now ball will be to the 30-yard line. First down and 20 for the Eagles. On the carry, Johnson Jr. Fifth penalty on the stop. First and 9 for him. Jaden Davis on the carry. The stop was made by number 16, Kevin Jackson. It is enough for the Eagles first down at the 20-yard line. Official timeout on the field. Pass ball is incomplete. Intended for number 1, Jonte Cook the second. Second down and 10 for the Eagles. Coming on the field, 22 Panthers. Panthers set for the return. Diaz out for the kick for the Eagles. That group is number 22. Denial Revenue. back for the Panthers, number 26, Southlake Carroll. First down, kick for Eagles from the Panther 18-yard line. Now for the quarterback, number 30, Gray. Ball being placed back at the 28-yard line. A loss of 2 on the play. Second down and 20 for the Eagles. Eagles set to kick the end. Ball was placed at the 41-yard line. First down and 10. One Lacey, number 10, gain out to the 45-yard line. Number 6. Total on 31-20. Alexander, first down and 10 for the Eagles from the 26-yard line. Carrying the trigger. Trigger to the 16-yard line. Gives it up for the Eagles. First down. Here's number Carroll. Making the stop is Aaron Thompson. Game of 2020, second down and 7 from the 14-yard line. On the field, number 12, Matt Allen. Person number 13, Cameron Wright. Ball is snapped at the 14-yard line. Third down and 3. Now number Carroll. First and 10 from the 1-yard line for the Eagles. First down. Eagles. Wright on the penalty. 3 yards. Eagles set for the Kentucky Blitz.
And the Carroll Dragons will start their first drive of the second half.
It's going to be interesting to see how Prosper's defense can hold up. We expected a high-scoring appearance for the Dragons, but so far only 10 points technically scored offensively, 7 from the defense. This Prosper defense has held up well.
Indeed they have. Held Anderson to 5 of 10 in the first half for 60 yards, a touchdown and a pick. The first touch goes to Owen Allen, who breaks off his biggest gain in quite a while. A scamper of 8 to start. Allen was held 11 carries, 67 yards. This is pretty good numbers, but a lot of that came on the first and second drive for Carroll. Prosper adjusted pretty quickly after. But Owen getting the first touch, finding some more space here. Makes it 2nd and 2. Not Caden Anderson at quarterback. That is Caden Jackson, the sophomore, playing quarterback for the Dragons to start the second half. And he's going to throw it out into the flat. It's caught. Getting wrapped up immediately is Owen Oser, the slot receiver, and there's a flag down. It looks like it's going to go against Southlake Carroll. It could be a hold. And indeed it is. And call on that one's the senior Corbin Dewey. So that will set the Dragons back, make it a 2nd and 9 instead of previous 2nd and 2. Not quite sure why Anderson is out. He played the entirety of the first half, took a couple of shots. Maybe it's just a different look being attempted by Coach Dodge and the Dragons as the handoff to Allen. Finds some good space along the right side. And that's going to gain the first down by himself, is the young junior. All the way to the Prosper 48-yard line.
Overall, Anderson in the first half did play well. I mean, totaled 60 yards passing and had the only offensive touchdown of the game. Interesting to see the change.
He didn't play particularly lights out, but it wasn't particularly pretty either. As they're not giving the first down, they're calling it. Oh, now the first down is given. Yes, it is. Now the first. Okay, well, we were right the first time. Took the officiating crew a second to catch up. But it's still 1st and 10 now from the 48-yard line for the Dragons. They have Corbin Dewey and Owen Oser. 2 receivers on the near side. RJ Maryland, the 1 receiver up top. He was targeted a lot by Anderson back in the first half. Is the receiver that caught that touchdown. He had a nice first half. 3 catches totaling 42 yards and that TD, and we're going to see a false start, another penalty on the Dragons.
Some quick penalties for this Dragons offense. Slowing down their momentum in this first drive of the half.
And giving Prosper defense every advantage that they need against a team this talented. Jake Wollock, the senior, subbing in to the game now for Carroll. The heavy set, and it's going to be a handoff to Allen, who's met immediately, but absolutely pile drives his way through a couple of Prosper defenders. We're about to gain a 3, making it 2nd down and 12 from the 50-yard line exactly.
He's tackled by number 28, Ethan Higgins.
Good job on the stop there that time by the junior Ethan Higgins. Higgins, remember, is the only linebacker with a varsity start before this season, as he started 1 game last year here against Denton Braswell in the place of the then injured Aiden Siana. 2nd and 12. Snap back and it's a handoff. Allen once again gets met, but powers through the the hit by Davis Perkins, falls forward. It's going to make it 3rd down and 7.
Big 3rd down for this Prosper defense. They cannot allow Carroll to get any more points on the board at this moment. They really need to make this stop.
Stop and getting the ball back to their offense. It's really what this Prosper team could use, is the home crowd makes a little bit of noise here on the 3rd and 7. 2 receivers up top, 1 on the near side. Allen to the right of Jackson. Takes the snap, rolls immediately right, not looking to pass at all, and he's just going to fall forward. back to the line of scrimmage, again to nothing, and it's 4th and 7.
Number 17, Caden Jackson.
Maybe a bit of a choice to make, or maybe not. As it looked like the punt unit was about to come onto the field. And now they're getting a little bit of a talking to from the coaching staff, but now here they come, the punt unit led by Tyler White. Carson McClendon gonna go back as the returner. Standing at his own 9-yard line, the snap and the punt is away. A high beauty of a punt. McClendon calls fair catch, fields it at the 13, and that's where Prosper will start with 5 minutes and 1 second remaining in this third quarter. Now, a quick chance to thank two of our two anchor sponsors, starting with Children's Health, the official pediatric healthcare provider for Prosper ISD. Children's Health is taking every precaution to keep your family healthy and safe. Learn more at childrens.com. And on Encore Wire, our other anchor sponsor, they are a leading manufacturer of copper and aluminum residential, commercial, and industrial building wire in McKinney, Texas. They've always been a big supporter of Prosper ISD athletics. As Rosar attempts to pass here, gets it to the outside. That looked to be Houston Hawkins pulling that one in, and that's going to be good enough for a first down.
First down. Anderson on the stop.
So good start to this drive. Gain a first down immediately. Now a little bit more breathing space. At their own 23-yard line are the Eagles. Rosar takes it, hands it off up the middle. And there was a hole there briefly for Daly, but a great job of filling it. I believe that was started by number 15, Alan Kleiman. Had an interception back in week 1 against Highland Park. Makes a nice tackle there, but still a gain of 4 on first down. Rosar takes the snap, fakes the handoff this time, sends it to the left side once again, looking for Hawkins. A little bit over his head.
Hawkins, the intended receiver, ball is incomplete. Number 19.
So Prosper's early game plan, it appears here in the second half, is give them the same look, a lot of the same movement and motions, but do some different things out of it. But now the Eagles going to show the Dragons pretty new look. 2 receivers on either side. Daly right behind Rosar. Rosar fakes the run and going to throw it up the middle, and that's going to be incomplete in front of Tyler Bailey, but a little bit closer that time to number 32 of Benicio Porras, the senior linebacker, who had that ball drop right in front of him.
This is the first week we really got to see Rosar under pressure a lot. Southlake is doing a really good job of making Rosar have to run as well as have to throw quickly. And so far, they've been able to contain the passing game pretty well for Prosper.
Yeah, they have. Rosar well under 50% completions. Certainly not his best game of the year so far, but this is something you kind of expect to see at some point from a young quarterback. As not the greatest punt by Kennedy, the Dragons are going to start at the Prosper 47-yard line. But there's always going to come a point in your football career as a quarterback or as a team in general where you're going to get hit a little bit. And really the biggest part about football is how do you respond to it. And right now Prosper is still searching for a couple of answers on the offensive side. Meanwhile, defensively, the Eagles have answered blow for blow, and there's going to be a flag.
Illegal substitution. 13 men on the formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
As the Dragons going to back up into their own territory to start after an illegal substitution. A bit of a miscommunication as to who was going to go out onto the field first. Now we see R.J. Maryland lined up against Caleb Miles. Bit of a height difference there. See if that comes into any play. It won't, as the handoff's just going to go to Owen Allen. Pushes his way forward for a gain of just about 2.
Defensively, this really is all Prosper could have asked for. Facing Southlake Carroll, one of the best teams in the state. 17 through almost through the third quarter. Pretty good stand.
I mean, they've been averaging just over 500 yards a game for the first 2 weeks. 40.5 points to go along with it. This Dragons team knows how to score, and you got to give a lot of credit to this Prosper defense. Considering all the changes that they went through from last year to this year, they have done a fantastic job of keeping this Dragon offense in check, including that young man, Owen Allen. Spins ahead that time for what appeared to be a pickup of 8. Makes it 3rd and 4. But the fact that that's one of the better carries for Owen Allen tonight should tell you just how well the Eagle defense is doing to contain him. Jackson still in the backfield. 2 tight ends and a running back to his left, and it's going to be Allen once again. He finds a little bit of space this time on the right side, gets the first down, a little bit more, all the way down to the 29-yard line.
Now, there really is no containing Owen Allen. You can slow him down for a couple plays, but that rush right there puts him over 100 yards rushing on the game.
First down, Dragons.
And given the fact that the Dragons are leading, expect to see a lot of number 2 here in the second half, maybe a little bit of number 20 as well, James Lehman. There's some excitement about that young man, Mr. Lehman, the sophomore. Shown some explosiveness early in the season. But of course, when you got a guy like Allen, you tend not to go away from him very much. 1st and 10. Here is Lehman. He's going to carry it straight up the middle before getting wrapped up and tossed down. That time on the play by Davis Perkins.
Credits to the Carroll O-line. They've done a great job of creating holes for these running backs.
Yeah, you got to give a ton of credit to Garrett Brown, the junior right guard. A lot of the running lanes have been found on either his left or right. He's been doing a great job overall. An oddly shifted formation. Plethora of offensive linemen on the left side. Prosper not moving extra over to deal with it, and good thing Lehman went to the right, picked up just a couple of yards, makes it 3rd down and 2.
Good read by McClendon. He's done a good job of getting the running backs when they go outside.
Yeah, but already there's only 30 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. The Dragons not moving particularly quick, and I don't think they're going to snap it again, and this is how our 3rd quarter is going to end. It's a 12-minute quarter, and it felt like it wasn't very much longer than 12 minutes as the running game by the Dragons really taking over in this 3rd quarter, as that will do it. We are now 75% of the way through this one. And as we switch sides of the field, I'm going to take a chance to tell you about a couple of our founding sponsors, starting with Chick-fil-A, the Gates of Prosper. At Chick-fil-A Gates of Prosper, they serve our families, friends, and neighbors with a passion for hospitality and quality. So go see them at the Gates of Prosper location just down Preston Road, as I think now the line is to get in here is cleared up. But while you're doing that, you might as well also go see Dr. John Paraton in Prosper Chiropractic and Wellness, as Dr. John Paraton at Prosper Chiropractic is one of the best chiropractors in the Prosper area, specializing in chiropractic care and wellness. Call them today so they can develop a chiropractic plan specific for you. So a big thank you to the Chick-fil-A, the Gates of Prosper, and Dr. John Paraton for being big supporters of Prosper ISD Athletics. We talked a lot about Prosper and talked a lot about how well the Dragon defense has performed. They were, quite frankly, torched last week against Rockwall Heath, but they've done a great job responding against the Prosper offense that's proven it can be just as potent when it needs to be. But a 3rd down and 2. Dragons would love to be able to convert here and keep this clock rolling.
3rd down and 2.
They're already likely within field goal range. Jackson takes the snap, hands it off to Lehman, who makes the defender miss. And he's going to get met right before the 20-yard line.
Number 20, James Lehman.
All right, past that, they're going to say he got to. They're going to place the ball at the 19, and that should be good enough
Tackle made by number
for a Dragon first down, and indeed it is.
Play results in a
As we were talking about not seeing much of James Lehman, now we're seeing a whole bunch of him. Southlake Carroll is absolutely running the ball down Prosper's throat at the moment. Got to give a lot of credit to Carson McClendon, who almost had Lehman in the backfield, but young sophomore made a nice move to get McClendon to miss and pick up that first down. Dragons down the red zone once again. Lehman going in motion, and I believe that's going to be a false start. A little bit of early movement on the right side of that offensive line.
Prior to snap, false start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Hear from our referee, Tommy Little. Big thank you to him and our entire crew tonight, as they've done really an excellent job officiating our game tonight. Now 1st and 15 for Southlake Carroll. The clock is rolling, under 11 minutes to go. And Carroll is going to go ahead and call a timeout. So, of course, this is not quite the last non-district game for the Prosper Eagles. They will finish up non-district play next week when they travel to take on the Arlington Lamar Vikings. Lamar hasn't had the greatest start to their season, but still a very talented school there in Arlington ISD. But after that, you start district play. And district play is going to be a challenge here in 5-6A. Good teams all across the board. And it's going to start with a very crucial home matchup against Little Elm. That looks to be potentially the 4th playoff team in District 5-6A this year, and just their 2nd year at the 6A level. It helps when you got a cornerback that's going to end up at Ohio State, Mr. Terrence Brooks. Little Elm currently handling business tonight. Last we checked, against Plano West. And that is not the case anymore. Plano West currently up on Little Elm 24-20. Give you some more updates from around the district. After this play, Owen Allen takes it. He's got a lot of space on the right side. Allen is able to get by one defender, and Allen scrambles into the end zone for a Southlake Carroll touchdown.
This defense has been holding up well, keeping Allen out of the end zone this long, but it was due to come at some point.
Yeah, Owen Allen, you pretty much pencil him down for his score every game he's going to play in, and it took him 3+ quarters to get it this time, but able to break free. Some great blocking by that Dragon offensive line, and Allen did the rest.
That score putting Carroll up 23. Prosper's gonna have to start moving fast with 10 minutes left on the clock.
Well, it was a 3-score game before. It's still a 3-score game now, just in a very different sense. As the kick is up, and it is good. 24-0 in favor of the Dragons. Going to take a second to tell you about Beach Orthodontics. Pardon me, Tom Bianca, for not being able to say that correctly, but I'll tell you what, They founded their business back in 2016, and they truly have orthodontic options for everybody. From adults in the family who are finally ready to get the smile that they've always wanted, to our local Prosper athletes who may be worried about how metal brackets will interfere with their sports and activities. Call them today to schedule your consultation. I also want to take a minute right now to thank Farmers Bank and Trust, owned by Ray Smith, a community bank that has given their customers the highest priority for over a century. They believe that success is simply a matter of treating their customers the way we would all want to be treated. So please feel free to visit, call, or email them today.
Now, we've been talking about this Southlake Carroll defense and how they've done a great job of shutting down Prosper. The last time they actually shut out a team was back in 2017 against Broken Arrow, where they won 6-0. It's been a long time since they've seen this defense.
Yeah, Broken Arrow tends to be one of the better teams up in Oklahoma. And they can shut out the Eagles. It would be quite the feat indeed, as it does not happen very often. And again, this is an Eagle offense that came into this one through 2 games, averaging 48.5 points per game.
Definitely not a sight we thought we'd see tonight.
Not yet, but there's still a lot of time left. 10:36 left in the fourth quarter. Now, if there's one thing that you can guarantee about Brandon Schmidt's team is that they're not going to quit fighting. Game not out of range yet, as this is going to be the first returnable kick of the night, and that was maybe a mistake. Caleb Miles making some men miss, getting all the way out to the right sideline, now going to cut it back in. Miles with a lot of space. There is a flag down, but right now no one cares. Miles to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, and he's going to be pushed out at the 5-yard line. And you got to wonder if this one's going to come back or not.
Flag down.
It was a great return by Miles. Broke multiple tackles and even made a lot of defenders miss.
And that's showing why the Dragons didn't want
During the return,
any returnable kicks.
back, receiving team, number 26, 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. First down.
As that one hurts, the kick is going to come back. A block in the back is called. It occurred at the 25-yard line, so if my math is correct, Prosper will likely go from starting at the Southlake Carroll 5 to starting at their own 15, and that is indeed the case.
That really was the play Prosper needed in this game to get that momentum going, but penalties have been a big factor for Prosper in this game.
Yeah, a bit of a gut punch, certainly. But still a chance to answer back.
First and 10, Eagles from their 15.
Rose Arch Crotton back out there with his offense. Daly the running back, Hawkins and Bailey the receivers, with Hinshaw and Reimer. 2 tight end set. You see that motion again, and another Tyler Bailey handoff. Daly doing a great job picking up a block on the edge, and probably the only reason that Tyler Bailey got what he could there. Gain of 4. And they're going to call it a gain of 5 up to the 20.
That Bailey jet sweep has been consistent all night. 5 rushes for 25 yards, averaging 5 per carry. It's been working well for this Prosper offense.
Indeed, it has. Another score update and another really good matchup in the DFW area. Allen, the Eagles, trying to rebound after losing last week. As the snap is bobbled, Rosar just has to pick it up, and he's going to lose the yardage gained on first down, making it 3rd and 10 from the 15.
Big miscommunication by Prosper. It looked like Rosar thought he was going to hand it off, and the running back was not ready to receive that.
Yeah, Daly, somebody didn't secure it, but another miscommunication, and that's kind of been the theme of tonight. As Prosper has looked great in moments, it's just been able to get that little final step, final bit of polish that has eluded them so far this evening. 9 minutes to go in the fourth. Rosar takes a high snap, looking to pass it. Has a good amount of time, but now scrambling to his right, going to throw it, and caught there on the far sideline. That was Hunter Summers, the junior, bringing that one down, and Prosper is able to convert on a 3rd and 10. Great job by Rosar. Had a pretty good pocket, but as soon as it started to break down, rolled out to his right, made a great running throw.
a much-needed third down conversion for this Prosper offense.
And really quickly, Allen taking on Cedar Hill tonight. That one in Allen. The Eagles currently lead that one 21-16. A close game that's still in the third quarter.
Rosar keeps it.
As Rosar keeps it, gains nothing.
Tackle made by Meadgall.
2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. And after Prosper welcomes Little Elm, we're going to have a challenge having to go immediately on the road to face Denton Geyer. Never an easy game against the Wildcats as we see another jet sweep to Bailey, but seen enough of that as Mr. Nate Gall, the senior linebacker, sniffing that one out. Great read by the senior to make it 3rd and 15. And you got to think at this point, given the score, everywhere is 4-down territory. So you see what you can pick up here on 3rd. Give yourself a better chance of converting on 4th. Three receivers up top. One on the near side for Rosar with Daly behind him. Gonna motion to even out on both sides. Rosar is looking that way towards Reimer, and that's going to be thrown and picked off. Not his best throw of the night was Rosar. Gall has it. His second straight play, and Gall has some space along the right side. He's going to get pushed out at the 7, but there was a flag. He's currently down on the field. It occurred after the interception, so likely a hold or a block in the back of some kind. And the referees are signaling a hold. Well, likely back up the Dragons a little bit with just under 7 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Get our official call in just a second.
Keep that on a play. Blocked in the bag. Number 19, return team. Penalty is declined. During return holding. Number 15. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So holding is actually going to be the call as there are 2 fouls on the play, and that's going to put the Dragons instead of at the 7. Instead, they're going to start at the 44-yard line of Prosper with a chance to run down a little bit more of this clock.
We expect to see a lot of Owen Allen on this drive. 139 yards and a touchdown on the ground.
Allen and Lehman's names are probably going to be called a lot over the next 7 minutes. However long Southlake is capable of keeping this ball. And it is going to be Owen Allen to start, and he's not going to have any luck getting wrapped up and brought down by Aiden Cumbest. Or pardon me, that was Evan Bish, 91, not number 9. But after that tough trip to Denton Geyer, Prosper Eagles will come back home to face the McKinney High Lions in their 3rd district game. Then they'll have a week off before Allen takes this one, finds a lot of space on the right side. Allen scampering once again, 10, 5. Gonna take a Prosper defender with him into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night. Number 2 has got to, and it has been his 2nd half. That's really carried the Dragons into a commanding 30-0 lead now.
Big 43-yard run by Allen. Puts him up to 183 yards on the night and 2 touchdowns. Prosper did a great job. Early on, was a little slow, and Allen got off to a big start. But the 2nd quarter, Prosper did a great job of slowing him down. But there's no slowing down Allen for long.
Yeah, you can only hope to slow him down. You can't really hope to stop him. There's a reason that young man's been playing on varsity for Southlake Carroll since he was a freshman. Imagine we'll hear his name a lot come recruiting time next year, as the point after is good. Prosper is able to almost get to Tyler White, but not quite all the way there. Obviously, this is not the result Prosper came into this game wanting. It's been A tough night for them, but a lot to be learned from this night. There's a reason that you put a team like Southlake Carroll on your schedule before you start district play, and it's so that you can get this kind of experience against the top-ranked team. As to be quite frank, your schedule is not going to get easier from here. And if you're Prosper, you have very tough games, Geyer and Allen, of course. But this district is, as I touched on a little bit earlier, notorious for some great defenses. You noted that Prosper was ranked 8th in scoring area defense coming into this one. But also, I mean, the McKinney-Boyd Broncos ranked 3rd, only allowing about 10.5. Geyer was ranked 5th, only allowing 12 per game coming into this week. And then Little Elm not too far behind Prosper at 11th, and Braswell just behind them in 16th. And you look at Allen's defense so far has only allowed 16 points to Cedar Hill. And a lot of challenges facing this Prosper Eagle team to do it. In the fourth quarter, and there in McKinney, and then you have 3 finals from last night as Denton Geyer took on Mansfield Lake Ridge, won that game 37-6 after a big win in overtime against Denton Ryan last week. On that one of 14-7. Denton Braswell getting a win as well over the Saxe Mustangs last night, 38-28 was the score in favor of the Bengals, and then rounding it out, the McKinney-Boyd Broncos starting their season at 3-0 with a 30-7 win over the Richardson Pierce Mustangs. All in all, a great night, or a great week for the opponents of Prosper in District 5 6A. But Prosper facing certainly the toughest test out of any of those schools.
Yeah, Southlake Carroll really showing why they are ranked 3rd in the state. Dominating on both sides of the ball. The defense looked great. As we said, first shutout since 2017 if the 0 stays on the board for Prosper. And just in general, have done a great job of getting a lot of turnovers from Prosper. But even the offense with the running back, win the running game from Owen, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just really been clicking on both sides.
I guarantee you the Eagles are well aware of that shutout streak, as they do not get shut out very often, and I don't think they're going to start tonight. I said earlier, and I meant it, you know, this team is going to fight back till the bitter end as long as they have to. But as you scroll back, the last time this Prosper Eagle team was even held in the single digits, as there's a bit of a misplay on special teams, and it looks like that ball is going to end up in the hands of the Dragons. No official ruling yet. And I haven't seen them point one way or the other. I think they're going to rule that Prosper kept that ball. Indeed they are. So the Eagles retain possession after keeping hold of the loose ball. And the last time that the Eagles were held even in single digits was all the way back in 2017 in a game at home against the Colony. And they lost 14-7, but gonna have to keep scrolling back even further from the last time this Eagle team didn't score any points, and I don't think they're gonna let that streak be reset tonight. So Malik Daly carries it for a couple of yards up the middle. Snap back to Rosar. He's going to hand it off. Daly up the middle again, and only able to gain about one before being met and taken down.
Another third down for this Eagles offense.
And a chance to convert once again.
Second down and 7 for the Eagles.
Third and 6. Rosar takes the snap. Going to hand it off to Daly once again. Some great reading on the edge. That time by the corner, Max Reyes, the senior. He led this team in tackles in the game against Highland Park with a total of 8. Haven't called his name much tonight. And that 4th and 5 is going to bring on the punt team for Prosper with just over 4 minutes to go left in the fourth quarter. Josh Kennedy back to punt it. And a flag. And a delay of game is going to be called on Prosper. Back them up 5 yards, make it 4th and 10. But as we take a gander around the rest of DFW, some more scorers. Frisco High currently leading Lake Dallas by a score of 62-20. That game has really gotten away from Lake Dallas in the third quarter, as Kennedy sends a very strong punt away. Backs up the Dragons all the way to the 22-yard line. In other news, Prestonwood Christian coming off a big win against Capel last week. Have met their match against Garland, currently losing that one 42-14. You look at Euless Trinity taking on Colville Heritage tonight. One of the better matchups across the Metroplex. That one hasn't been particularly close with the Trojans currently leading that one 27-6. On the back of a very powerful running game. Very interesting score. West Mesquite currently tied against Saginaw Chisholm Trail 36-all, as we see a quarterback keeper, Jackson, getting a huge gain of 14 yards. As that's one of the biggest benefits of having a great running back tandem, is the quarterback keeper going to be that much more effective. As we may not see never mind. Just having a quick conversation with Mr. Jackson is Coach Dodge. The Dragons showing their first spread look in quite a while here on 1st down and 10. Still going to be a handoff. This time featuring a new name, Maddox Reed, the sophomore running back. Getting a decent pickup of 2.
Second down and 8.
Most likely won't see another snap until the 2-minute warning. Southlake is looking to just run out the rest of the clock.
And they're going to run this one under 2 minutes, certainly. No reason not to. We continue to look around the Metroplex, possibly a rather big upset, as Hebron currently leading Northwest Eaton by a score of 34-14. And the handoff to Mr. Reed. Not exactly a fun one, as he met in the backfield almost immediately. That time it looked to be Mr. Justin James, the senior linebacker, getting there first. Other scores, Highland Park up on the Capel Cowboys, 21-6. Little Elm now trailing Plano West 31-20. Louisville is taking on Prosper's next opponent, Arlington Lamar, tonight, and they're currently up 35-10, running a big 22-point first quarter. All right, Louisville Fighting Farmers as the handoff to Reed. A bit of a tumble on the exchange, and
Reed on the carry. He's tripped up.
Reed just had to fall forward. Makes it 3rd and 10. Pardon me, it's going to be 4th and 10. So 4th and 10. There's a difference of just about 17 seconds between the play clock and the game clock. Game clock scrolling down to 30 seconds with 13 still on the play clock. I assume we're going to see a timeout called by Southlake Carroll, followed by a punt. But it certainly feels challenging, this result. It's not the one that Prosper wanted or expected. I think if you told either of us or really anyone in this building that this game was going to end 31-0 or something approximating it, it would have been a lot of surprised faces. I think we would have expected much more of a shootout. As you're going off, Harrison Rosar, a strong performance by him against Lake Ridge. You have 3 receivers that you're incredibly confident in, and still are, but I think more than anything, this has been a statement game for Carroll, showing that people were right to think of them as the 3rd best team in the state, that they really have earned that ranking now. After they got a strong test by the 7th best team in the state, Rockwall Heath, a week ago. But 16 seconds left in this one. And the kick is away. Angle to the near sideline. McClendon chasing after it, but realizes it's just going to bounce out of bounds. And indeed it will at the 21-yard line. And that's where the Prosper offense will take over. See what they decide to do. As I think you're looking back at some of the numbers in this game, the thing that stands out to you the most is got to be the turnovers. The 4 total. Harrison Rosar tonight, 3 interceptions and the 1 fumble loss has certainly hurt this team. And again, you just have to hope that the junior is able to take this as the learning experience that almost certainly is. 8 seconds left to go. Snap back to handoff to Daly up the middle. And he's not going to get much of anything. And that is likely to do it for us here tonight. Final score from Prosper here tonight. The Southlake Carroll Dragons 31 and the Prosper Eagles 0. As Prosper take their first loss of this 2021-2022 season. And Connor, looking through these numbers, it was pretty even around halftime, but Carroll Dragons kind of imposed their will, especially on the ground in the second half.
Yeah, Southlake Carroll did a really good job on both ends of the field, getting a shutout defensively and forcing 4 turnovers, as you mentioned. A lot of mistakes by the Prosper offense, a lot of mishaps, a lot of drop passes overthrown, and then the 4 turnovers is just the big thing with 3 interceptions and a fumble. But Southlake also did a great job offensively, mainly being the offense being run through Owen Allen, 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. And just in general did a great job of maintaining the clock and chewing it out in the second half to put it away.
Yeah, Southlake Carroll came into the second half just 54 yards of rushing. They end up with 196. And from averaging just 3 yards a carry to averaging just over 6. So that offensive line for Southlake really doing the job. And this is a team that traditionally passes quite a bit, as we talked about earlier in the game, but just 62 passing yards, as that has seemed to become the new strength for this Eagle defense. Last year, for people that were following Prosper, the rushing defense was absolutely incredible. The team rushed for over 100 yards or over 2 yards per carry. You were surprised. And that was on the strength of a very senior, strong linebacking core. But this year, a lot more of the experience is in the secondary, and that's showing in these numbers as Prosper came in allowing just 54 passing yards per game. That's good enough for third in the area, and they only allowed 62 tonight. So all in all, I think we're beginning to figure out what the strengths and maybe some of the areas of improvement for this Prosper team are. And I think the running defense has looked better in previous games. This game, they were exposed a little bit by a very big, strong offensive line and an absolute stud running back in Owen Allen. And
I mean, I think Prosper's pass defense was greatly complemented by the pass rush. They got inside and put pressure on the quarterback. Most of the attempts, they got 3 sacks, they only had 3.5 coming into this game. So they did a great job putting pressure on the quarterback. It was just the run defense that ultimately led to their demise.
Yeah, Carroll was held to a total of 258 yards in this game, which is just over half of what they've been averaging coming into this season. They were averaging over 500 yards of offense through their first 2 games, and they were averaging about 193 on the ground, which is what they got tonight, but they were averaging over 300 yards in the air, and they didn't get that tonight. So a big positive to take from a district that features some pass-heavy teams, especially a team like Allen with a new quarterback. It's great to see a strength solidifying, because that means if you're Coach Schmidt, you have the thing that you need to focus on. And I'm sure the defensive coordinator, Coach Robertson, will certainly have this team focusing a lot on that run defense. And you have to take a little bit of happiness from the fact that it's not missed tackles. It's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. And that's something that's going to come with game experience. Something this team will certainly have plenty of as the season continues to roll on. And then you look over at the other side, this Prosper offense coming off an ecstatic, borderline perfect performance against Lake Ridge, putting up 63. Rosar, after a bit of a shaky start, looking solid throughout that game. And tonight, the junior looked a little bit like a junior starting his third varsity game against the third best team in the state. He made some great throws. He was a little off on a couple of other ones, but I think the combination of really the pressure that the Dragons were able to bring and the coverage they were able to produce on the back end made it very difficult for Rosar to get anything going tonight.
Yeah, credit to Southlake Carroll's defense. Especially, I think a big thing for them is having that veteran kind of defense. They had 9 players returning, and I think that's the biggest difference there, with Harrison or Rosar being very inexperienced, this only being his 3rd game starting, and the Southlake Carroll defense have already played a whole season. Most of the defense being able to play a whole season or more, I think was really the tale of how they were able to basically have their way.
Yeah. It is easy to, or maybe it's easy for some to forget that this was a Carroll team that was 1 game away from winning a state championship, at the 6A Division I level. So a lot of credit to them. A lot of credit to head coach Riley Dodge on that side for being able to adjust to some of the weaknesses that were found last week and put together a solid defensive game plan for Prosper tonight. But really, that's all I got to say about this one. If you're Prosper, this is one you might want to just kind of forget about, flush it all away, and then focus next week when you travel to Arlington Lamar to take on the Vikings. But we're not going to see them next week, obviously, since they are on the road. The next time we'll see this Eagle team is their first district game against the Little Elm Lobos, one that could prove very pivotal come the end of the season, one that Prosper will surely want to win. Next week, we have the pleasure of calling Rock Hill against Princeton. That should be a fun one. Care to join us on next Friday night? But until then, for everybody here at Children's Health Stadium, including our director, Michael Logan, and for Mr. Connor Fuchs, I'm Will Broderick. And until next time, so long, everybody.